I am not a financial advisor. These videos are all meant for educational purposes only. All complete Trader Academy videos are my personal opinion and perspective. Trading carries a high level of risk, and all results are your own responsibility. Please always demo first. Hey everybody, welcome back to CT Review. Today is October 20, Monday, 2025. Hope you had a good weekend. So we said we're bullish, and sure enough, we're bullish, right? Everyone trying to sit here and sell this, I'm telling y'all, we're bullish. Signs on the wall, obviously, with Friday's close pushing up all the way here. Now, when you get here and you've already had this speaker and you're not expecting it to come back in, it's already locked price. And sure enough, especially with it being that difficult right there to buy, if you recall the video I made on Saturday, you can see that we dip in, we gap up, and then we dip into that hour imbalance. We take out some liquidity in that gap, and then we pop up, and it's just higher, 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 low. You have two down candles here on the 1 hour. Just speaking about the 1 hour, but look at the body of Friday of today, dipping into Monday's today, dipping into Friday's body. If it's the upper quadrant, if you measure just the actual body itself. Right. See if I can make this video short. You can see that we're coming into that top 25% of that body of Friday, and you can see us dipping in to that imbalance. I'll draw it because people need to see it maybe. But oh boy, I need to be quicker. Let's see here. What am I doing? Let's just do this on a 1 hour. Should have did this before I did the video. And you'll see there we're dipping in there, and then you'll see another. I'll get into the smaller time frames, but we're already also in this imbalance right here. I'm gonna draw it as well. Hopefully they don't make me. What's the close here? Close is 0.51 3/4. The open is 0.53. So there's gap right there. I don't need to be perfect. I just wanted to show this, and then you'll see a 15-minute. But also look at the understanding of the swing, right? So we have this candle down, and then this candle up, almost completely seals it. And then this is the expansion candle of candle 3, which is obviously the swing. Candle 3, that's 8 o'clock. So 9 o'clock is going to be candle 4. It's pushing straight through. Why? The agenda hasn't even been met. This is that high. The reason why I'm saying that we're bullish here, you don't expect anything because this is the objective. And to get up into those fucking easy sellers of Friday, right? So, and then you have an expansion here, it's about 3 hours, right? And just, kind of consolidating into birdie day, turns into a birdie day, and so on. And then I measured this for you right here. The body's on the 1 hour right here. We said we got to a 1 standard deviation, almost literally to the tick of Friday. And then you can see here, the goal is to -2, right? So, and that's exactly what happened. So let me get to a smaller time frame real quick so I can make this easier. And then that's that 1 hour balance down here. I can refine this to a 15-minute. We'll just refine it. And then you'll see how we tag 50% perfectly. So this is a reason why we're not really going to come back to the Asia range. As you can see here, the low of Asia, because we're in this gap, and all the best buys of the week, especially on a Monday, would be below the open. And that's anything below that line right there. Obviously, there's a gap there. But you can see perfectly to the tick, we get to 50% right there, right? So anyways, we pop up, we keep going, right? All right, we're pushing up. And then we come back into the gap here. And then you can see these 5 consecutive down candles. And then you can see us tagging the 50 right there perfectly. Right? See that? Perfectly. See that? So you have an imbalance here. And where's that imbalance? That imbalance is on, if you watched the Saturday's video for Friday, I've talked about this. You'll see that that's look where the actual imbalance is laying. It's on that quadrant. That's perfect. And it tags it there. And then we come in, we tag the 25%. We come above, we dip in a little bit, but we're gone. we're using the top of that gap, which is this price action here, and then it takes off, right? Let me delete this because this is annoying. And then also with this same swing on the 15-minute, you'll see here that candle 2 pushes up, closes it engulfs it, pretty much closes above the open of the 645 I'm talking about. It's at 7 o'clock, right? We dip into the top and then we push. Now, when we get here for 9:30, this is the thing. And a birdie day, you're not going to get a discount. You're not going to get it coming into the opening range gap. And it could have, yeah, sure. But I mean, this is what they do on purpose to make you play defense or forced to play offense and buy, right? Which is fine. We don't have a problem with that because look, the objective, which is last week's high, let's say a weekly level, we snap right to it. That's not a coincidence that we snap right to it. So once they snap it, you're not waiting for it to come here or come back down in here. It's a classic buy profile day, right? So you open up, you come down, manipulation, and then the distribution is the rest of the day pretty much. But this is that next phase. You can see when we break that weekly high, it's just bouncing right on top of it. Boom, comes up. We get the first imbalance here, right? This tells it all as well. We come in, and we're pretty much, there's some structure on a lower time frame, even from here, but it's fanning up, right? So high, higher low, high, higher low. See, it's above that high, right? That lower high, that higher low, sorry. Right, we get above that first imbalance. We come right back in to the tick at 50%, right? A hair lower, maybe. And then this is another higher low. This is a high, 3 drives up, retrace, 3 drives down, higher low, higher high. In here, this is that whole range, retraces back where into that rejection wick right here. I'm not going to even draw it. You have this last down candle. I'll draw that. All right. And we're pretty much holding there, right? So now it's just gone, right? So again, buy 1, buy 2, buy 3, buy 4, buy 5, retraces, buy 6. I won't even get into that too much, but again, fanning, birding day, there's no, any retracement is a blessing, right? So you got to take that. And obviously, what's the logic here? It's trying to wipe out and go for all-time highs. We said we're bullish, right? So indicator there, and then here pops up, locks price. You think you want to come back down in here? No, it's not gonna. They're not gonna give it to you. Just use that imbalance right there. Oh, before I even move forward, you can see the 15-minute imbalance right here, right? So we hit that to the tick. That's the other. almost went off on that. So you can see that this candle also, this 845 candle, lets you know what we're doing. It pretty much, with the strength of that candle and it being empty like that, we come back in, and then 9:30 to the tick. You can't even see it. Can you see it? You can see it, but it's hard to, because the indicator, but right there to the tick, right there. See that? So it tags it, pushes off, right? All right. So again, if you're not a part of any type of buy stop or momentum entry, then these are your next entries here, using that weekly breakout high and then bouncing on it. And then your next entries here and here, right there. We talked about that, and also this. And then again, the point is that it's just going to keep going. Especially when you get these 1 hour candles and you're in an expansion phase, they just dip back into the wick, right? The wick, I'm sorry, of the hourly candles dip right back into the body very, very slightly, right? So another way to enter. And there's not really else much to talk about. I mean, here we're going, we retrace back in here, kind of like a breakout level here, but this down candle is holding. So if you take a look, it's like that support, and then you can even go all the way and see that we're respecting that. But a retrace back, you don't get any raids here, right? You don't get too many raids here. Like for example, that right there, when we rated that's a great entry, right? Here, when you get these higher lows, it raids it, but not too many raids today, and that's another signature of really being bullish. So anyways, you push up here. All right, you get this inversion here, holding price. It's just giving drives back, trying to pretend like it's going to sell. But in a classic buy day, you're not coming back into any range deeper. Maybe in the PM session, but that's still very, very, it's not common at all. So anyways, they use that, they come back down, and they raid again. Notice how this wick here, you can see this, right? Notice how it does. It's in this rejection wick. Now I'm going to draw it because this one, you want to see it. See this wick right here? Look at the open. I'm going to go all the way. Oh, how did that happen? You see that? Doesn't take out that low. And we also have a divergence on NAS, by the way. But beside the point, in general, it's going to either buy from above it or below that low. And why specifically the open? And why did it not make an equal low? Even though it's kind of like an equal low. Let me stretch it out a little bit. Because that wick right there was a change of delivery. Meaning that this body candle crosses over. It's a bullish candle. So they're coming to make sure for good measure that they tag that. Because you have someone entering here. But anyways, and that'll obviously show you the divergence. That's right there. We had a higher low with NAS. We had lower lows here, right? So that being also said, what was I gonna say here? At 9:25 and 9:30, you had a very small divergence right there with Dow, and then or was that? I'm sorry, I put on the wrong one. It was with NAS here. So right there, you had a lower low here with the wick, and that's where I told you we jumped into that 15-minute imbalance. You wouldn't have been able to see it on any other time frame. On the 5-minute, you wouldn't see it either. Yeah, that's right. So you wouldn't see it on the 1 minute. Let me go back. God damn. You're not going to see that. But on the 15-minute, and why is the 15-minute the best time frame? It's because of the fact that it's overall average, in my opinion. If you go all the way down to seconds, all the way to the daily. And the 15-minute is just so clean. But that's just explaining that. So no discount, and it's just a pump. It's a buy, sell, buy immediately. So no coming back in. And then we had a new leg come up right here. Some drives up, and then a failed high here, and then some drives back down, and we're kind of sitting here. So here's that first imbalance. Nothing really else much to say here. You got VIX coming down pretty aggressively, letting you know. And then also, if you recall me saying that, this looked heavy when we were selling with dollar, and that would be an example of us pushing up. It's pretty much sitting here. See if this is support right here. And they tagged into here. There's a gap here though, so not looking good in a way, but I don't trade forex, so it doesn't fucking matter. But again, I use it as a barometer to understand, strength of direction and this and that. But I mean, I would expect dollar to still go up, like in general speaking. But I mean, coming underneath here now, and then having a balanced price range right here like this, maybe they'll roll over, and that'll kind of keep us pushing up. But nothing else much to say here. And then as you can see, again, when they get up here, it's like it's in a hurry. So that's the other thing I was gonna make sure I don't forget to say. It's in a hurry. So that's why you see these completely candles imbalanced, right? You see them strong like that because look to the left, they're trying to come up here and wipe out liquidity. So that's why they're staying empty, right? Because they are in a rush to go up. And that was Dow, right? Yeah, so Dow, same idea. So like right here, right, you see this stays empty, right? This is completely empty. This is a 4-hour though. I mean, extremely bullish right there. Look at that. And then look at this. Look, you had an oversold on the daily, and that's very rare. I mean, as you can see, very rare. So this was the bottom here, and we've been calling it bullish, man. So I mean, I don't know what else I could say there. On the daily as well there, and then again, staying empty so they can reach. You want to see, if you're bullish, you want to see them empty. You don't want to see pullbacks. You don't want to see the hourly candles wipe them out. You know, you want to see them stay empty. So, and that's what they're doing here. And I mentioned liquidity here, here, and here, and that's why they're rushing for it. Real logical there. They also had a, let me look at this. Yeah, they all, no discount there. But your first pullback is your only entry method. I mean, getting to that 2 to 2.5. Now, moving forward. Oh, and also I don't think I even mentioned Nvidia. It's a little bit suspect because you can see here that we only have buying bodies here. You have a gap here. We came and got that gap. I mentioned that. Here, still there. But for the prices for the megas to be like kind of like down here, we shouldn't really be up where we are. So, but the scam continues, right? But let's see, what else? I don't know what else I could say. And in general speaking, with these equal highs here, so right there, boom, breakout level there. What was this, Friday? All right, we're using that as probably support, but when it's shooting down like that, you can see the breakout levels right there, right? So pushing up, get to a -2, and then just stalls the rest of the day. So we had already hit -2 like earlier, like at 11 o'clock. You see it right there. It's like down here to the tick. It's 11 o'clock candle. So, and then it's just kind of this is kind of, see how it's fanning here? It's also doing the same thing fractally here. But big push day. So what else can I say here? Now, seasonality wise, it does show that we, from the 20th, which today is the 20th, in the 15 year and the 30 year, we should be pushing up. It's kind of hard to read the 30. Hold on, I'm looking at something here. 15 just shows that we push right up. And we take out that high, and I'm going to just keep it simple like this. Let me see if I can squinch it out a little bit here. And I mean, in general speaking, being Monday, is Monday the low of the week? I'm gonna assume it is. As far as it dipping back in first, I don't know if that's gonna happen. I would like to just see them pop up, okay, and that be like now Tuesday, which tomorrow, and then we come back in for a retracement. So we're in expansion phase. And then Tuesday kind of make a high and then retrace back into like Wednesday or something like that. And then, oh shit, I didn't mean to do that, but you get what I'm, anyways. And then continue back up, right? So, whatever. So I want to see a break up, right? Push up, exhaust that, and then come back in for these late pushers, right? And then continue up. And that's the 15 year on ahead. The 30 year, it's kind of muddy, but it's very similar. And then the 5 year is just sideways. But and that's it. I mean, again, we don't have a body there. So I mean, in a perfect world, I'd like to see Tuesday just do this. I would like to see that. Just close and then Wednesday just pop back up. But, it's all going to depend. Again, you don't fight it, but it's all going to depend on how they do this. Because in a perfect world, when you're, like, for example, here, this is very similar to what I'm talking about. Like when we had an all-time high here, we push through. Look at this day just pushes up, right? And then we roll over back into that breakout level, right? So you want to see consecutive days, generally speaking. Monday, Tuesday, keep pushing up. Close here, and then kind of come dip back in for this all-time high here. So again, another thing, I've been talking about that top 75% here. Look to the right. You can see that we were knocking on that pre-930 and we popped up. So let me go to the 4 hour. Maybe you can see this better on the 1 minute. Yeah, this is good enough. 75 right here. See, I'm going to hover over to 75 and look to the right. Look where the price action is. See that? I want to see right there. So even on the 15 minute, if you look down there on the lower part, see how we're like above it initially in London, and then we come below it, and then New York we go above it, right? And that's kind of like what you want to see. After that, which is this area, fanning up, higher highs and higher lows, and then once you leave this 75%, obviously the next goal is to make a new high, right? So I don't think there's anything else I really need to say here. I think that's pretty good. And now, or do we get the retracement here in Asia London? So we had an expansion here, right? Some drives up type of thing, and then are they going to come in? This low. I would expect them to take this low out first before pushing up, but we'll see. And speaker here, 3 highs, 3 lows. See that? Speaker there. You have one here. Speaker there, right? And it's just a retracement here. But that's it. I mean, there's nothing else I could really say here. But again, so before they reach an all-time high, and they've already squeezed everybody out, dude. I mean, like, it's like fuck off, So that's why it's possible that they do this first, right? They might come back in first. We'll see. I don't know. You don't want to. I mean, in a bullish scenario, they can come back into the 1.5. To build more liquidity, just like I was talking about this, like when they made this high and then they came up and they made this high and they retraced and they popped it like that. This is fractally maybe the same idea, right? So you have the highs here, you have here, because imagine a guy he's holding the bag here, right? He's like, I'm waiting for the new high, right? And then fucking pull it right back on his ass, I mean, that's what I would do if I was them, but whatever. So this might be in play here, type of thing. And we're on overbought here, so we'll see. It's probably going to come to the 50 here. And if you take a look here, you can see, even if we're using this, look for example right here, like right here. So it was sitting at a 50 here on the RSI here, coming up for a high, retracing. Look how deep this came, and it only was still on the 50 right here. See that? Then we pop up for a new high here, but it's a divergence, and then they sold off. They sold all the way off, and then they came to an oversold here, right? Look at oversold, right? And then we pushed all the way up, right? So, anyways, that's just some side notes. I feel like I'm missing something. I'm always missing something. And what else was I gonna say here? And you're probably wondering why you got that imbalance on the daily right there. Because we were going to eventually use it as support. And you can see it's in the top quadrant. Okay, now you're going to see, I guess I could just randomly show you like this. See, hitting that, look at the 25%, right? Look at that, damn. I don't have it on the other time frames, do I? Oh, here I do. Right there, and I didn't draw it perfect, so it's whatever, but real close to that 25%, right? So it's in the upper quadrant, and that means it's exceedingly bullish, right? So that was the purpose of this, and not really using it anymore here. Not necessary. But yeah, there goes that. X marks the spot on the 15-minute refined. Look at that, perfect. So you've already got we were saying it already. You already got the flow here, and this is a classic profile buy day. So take a screenshot. I mean, if you trade, you've seen this a million times. You know what this looks like. You know what I'm saying? So again, you're not trying to sell any of this. You're constantly trying to get these higher lows. All right. And then today's Monday, so the first imbalance. If it wanted to retrace before it makes the high, okay, again, is it going to pop the high first and retrace, or is it going to retrace now? I mean, again, in a normal world, again, we would want it to just go straight up. Even from this low here, when we made all this fucking higher low shit, We wanted to just go straight up, but they kept it in, right? It's also called time distortion. And the structure is pretty funny here. You can see, watch this. Low. Drive 1 high. Drive 2 high. Drive 3. And then they came down with 3 drives. It's not that pretty here. And then that was the retrace. So from low to higher low, this ends up being the higher low, right? And then from here, it's straight the fuck up, right? You see that? Can you see that? See that? So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So high, from low to high to higher low. You got all that shit inside, right? That's why here it's like, okay, when they seal it and they lock in the price, look, you're not dipping into any of these 4-hour imbalances. They're already immediately balanced right there. They did it there as well. And then as you can see on the 4-hour here, this will be the last thing I say. You have this down candle, this 4-hour down candle, and we dip right in, right? The wick. But it's just pretty much like that support, right? And then you have these consecutive down candles, right? So if you treat it like a 1 minute, you'll see that that's that level. And it's the same level almost as the opening gap, but so anything underneath that, it's tagging it, right? Well, once it's above it, I'm sorry. But best buys are below the open, which is here, this level here, right? And made a new low. Oh, they already came and got them. That's what I was mentioning. I was like, I don't see them going up without taking out these guys right here. But we'll see how far they want to go there. What else? This swing here on the 4-hour. 1 there, 2. Pushes up. It's already an expansion candle for the swing. And then candle 3, which is the 10 o'clock, it's going to expand even more, right? So locked price in there on the 4-hour. And that's it. You guys take care. God bless.